What's your main strategy in selling these products?
So our main strategy for selling these products is kind of creating an environment for our customers in which they feel as if they're part of the brand. So we want to encourage our customers to share their pictures wearing Amira because we want our customers to be our influencer.
Hey, this is Shuvo, and I welcome you to e-commerce growth podcast. Here I talk about how you can turn your e-commerce store visitors into repeat customers. Every week, I bring a successful e-commerce store owner or a thought leader, know the untold game plan behind their success, and share them with you. In our today's episode, we have Zainab, the founder of Amira Apparel. Born British with roots divided between India and Pakistan, Zainab chose Bangladesh as her place to practice her hand at business after her graduation. Through Amira Apparel, Zainab has made the female attires with exclusive Pakistani and Indian ethnic touch accessible to the middle and higher middle class of the country. Today we'll learn from Zainab what helped her in making Amira a popular brand within 1.5 years.
So actually, it started with my father. He started his journey in the garment industry at the age of 16 in England. And eventually, he launched his own manufacturing unit in London. But unfortunately for him, the labor cost started rising in England. So he made a remarkable decision to move to Bangladesh. And, he said that, and this was back in the 1990s. So he said that he saw a huge potential in the country and, the talent the country had to offer for the garment sector. And then I came in the picture and I studied from AISD. And I was just mesmerized to see how Bangladesh grew as I grew older. And every year there was something new the country had to offer us. For example, you'd be gone for a couple of weeks for a holiday and you come back and there's a new infrastructure being built in your neighborhood. So it was pretty awesome to see how constantly the country was going through development. And then I went to London to complete my higher education. And I always knew I was going to come back to Dhaka to join my family business. So I started doing more research in Bangladesh, and I was just fascinated to see how fast the country was growing, along with the exponential economic growth. So when I returned from London to Dhaka, my father and I discussed regarding expanding the family business. So, it was pretty obvious that a country that was booming with growth, that it was filled with opportunities. So my father and I made an executive decision that, okay, we wanted to create a product to serve the domestic market of Bangladesh. So the main question came down to, okay, what would this product be? And it was a no-brainer that we wanted to create a product that we were familiar with, that we knew a lot about. So that was apparel. So I started doing more research on the retail industry in Bangladesh, and I found a few gaps, and that's when I created Amira.
What are the gaps you saw?
So the major gaps that I saw in the Bangladesh market was that a lot of the female and male customers in Bangladesh, they were more interested in purchasing products from the neighboring countries such as India and Pakistan. They preferred their design, they preferred their trends, they preferred their fabrication. And what I realized the other retailers in Bangladesh were doing about this is they were bringing the trends directly from India, directly from Pakistan, and putting it in for the Bangladeshi market. And I thought that was quite a mess because not all trends worked well for the Bangladeshi market. Another disturbing thing that I've seen is that a lot of customers in Bangladesh will easily name the top 5 brands from India and the top 5 brands from Pakistan, but the same can't be said about the customers from India, the customers from Pakistan. So that was the major issues that I've saw in the retail industry in Bangladesh.
Yep, completely makes sense. I can also relate to these stories as well. So, when you found out this problem, like the gap in the market, what did you came up with? What was your main product?
So the main product, my vision for the company is to be an artistic and innovative fashion label in a global market. So right now, since we're just starting with Bangladesh, our focus was, okay, creating very, we're we're kind of making a fusion of garments. So there's going to be more of like the Western and the traditional aspect in our garments. We're trying to create more abstract prints instead of those, very traditional type of symmetric designs. And so what I'm trying to do is kind of merging both the Western and the Eastern wear together. So I've created something called fusion tops, and those are one of our biggest sellers. Customers are liking the fact that, okay, they're a little modern because they're not super long, the length of the kamises, well, the fusion tops, and then they have a little bit of embroidery, or they'll be with print and embroidery. So it's been a great hit for us.
Looks like you have given a lot of thoughts in the product. So what's your main strategy in selling these products?
So our main strategy for selling these products is kind of creating an environment for our customers in which they feel as if they're part of the brand. So we want to encourage our customers to share their pictures wearing Amira, because we want our customers to be our influencer. We want, because what they send us, the comments, the feedback, is the most real feedback you'll receive, and it's the most beneficial for our future customers. And, we want to create creative content because we all see that TikTok is booming globally. And I believe the reason for that is because they have a lot of creativity, a lot of entertaining, fun, magical kind of contents being created in that platform. So we wanted to kind of merge that with Amira. We're not just about creating trendy fashion, but also creating trendy content for the customers. We want to adapt with what customers are, being habitual to, are liking. So the kind of merging our products with the trendy content. So if they're seeing all these fun contents being put up online, why not have our products in that video so that customers can also purchase those products while having, a fun, while watching the video.
I think one of the main reasons of TikTok's growth is basically I would say, fun-sized and also very small-sized videos. So are you doing the same thing? Are you building videos or making contents that's very bite-sized and also consumable to the customers?
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. Like I said earlier, that it's very fun to watch a TikTok video because just from a snap of a hand, the outfit change. So it's really fun to watch something like that. And if you're interested in, okay, what is this model or influencer wearing and how is she changing? Or, okay, that looks great on her. Maybe it'll look great on me. So it's been very useful for us to use the similar.
Makes sense. Looks like you're focusing a lot on building the brand and creating the trust as well. So building the brand is not an easy thing. It takes time. So what's your steps or what's your strategies to build the brand?
To building a brand, the main strategy, we want to focus on our product. So regarding the product, we want to make sure it's unique, it's trendy, it's high in quality, but at the same time, the price that we are keeping in the product for the products is also very reasonable compared to the rest of the market. Main strategy that as a startup should do initially is to find a problem in the market and find the solution for the problem. Like I said earlier, that a lot of people in Bangladesh, a lot of customers are, more interested in purchasing product from India or Pakistan. So why is that the issue? So I'm trying to resolve that. Amira's trying to, fight these issues and see what we can do.
Makes sense. I have seen a lot of entrepreneurs thinking a lot over the product, which is good because product is important. But in a competitive market, when you are into the apparel market, this is massively competitive. A new brand will almost come into play each day, not only from the country, but also regionally, also globally. And with the advancement of, I would say, the globalization, people are not now bound to buy products only from the country as well. They're also buying products from anywhere.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the market is getting much more competitive, and to win the market, you need to have a very good, I would say, growth strategy as well. So, in terms of your growth strategy, what we have known so far that you already have 3 offline stores, which is helpful to build the brand. I can understand because offline is something where people can go and see the product, try it by themselves, and that gives them the initial trust. We heard that you are also opening up a new store as well, and you have an online store as well. So, what's basically your growth strategy looking like? Are you going to be more focused on the offline, or going to be more focused on the online, or there will be combination of both and whatnot?
Definitely a combination of both. The reason we launched the online website along with our store is because we know that, globally, the whole world is moving towards online. There's a rise of technology, and, the new millennials, they're all about online. Right? So to target them, we definitely want to also focus on online, but at the same time, because a traditional retail brand, they definitely have outlet offline stores. So we also want to focus on offline stores because a lot of customers are demanding us with stores around Bangladesh. So both, definitely both. Yeah.
Makes sense. So again, I think in terms of online, what we have seen that let's say when you are buying from Adidas website, you'll not think twice because that's Adidas. But when it's not Adidas, maybe a newcomer in shoe industry, but if you want to buy from them, you'll always go to the website, check things out, check for reviews, even maybe talk to the customer support and things like that. So initially, we can understand it's a little bit manual, but I think within time or within a few years, it becomes a lot more scalable. So in terms of your online strategies, so what are the areas you are currently focusing on?
Online strategy. So basically, we're trying to promote our contents through Facebook and Instagram. And, we always try to mention, okay, we have a website. We try to push our customers to process their orders through our website because when we realize, okay, a lot of customers are reaching us from Facebook or from Instagram, and they're more comfortable for us to process the order for them rather than them going onto the website and, purchasing the product themselves. So we always try to create content that kind of describes and is helpful for the customers to understand, okay, how do we process a order? A lot of websites, they have different features, different way of processing the order. So we try to make the customer, feel as comfortable, instead of having a customer service always there for them to, process the order for them, we try our best that we ask the customer, okay, why don't you try it? And obviously we want to make it as convenient as possible. If they're not willing at all, then we definitely process the order for them.
Makes sense. And what's your basic strategies for your offline store? How do you want to stand out between the competitions?
With our offline stores, so definitely when we looked into the interior of our design, we wanted a feel of, okay, when a customer walks in, they feel like, okay, they're going in for a retail therapy, they're comfortable for purchasing any product, they have fun, they try on the garments, and also that segment of going onto an offline store and trying on the products and seeing what looks good on you, or okay, grabbing a few more, which that kind of option doesn't really exist. Oh, if it does, you'll have to buy a bunch of products online. So that's always there as an offline option, and you can bring in your friends with you, and it's just a fun environment that I want to create in the store. And the decor, it's trying to make it seem classical, but at the same time not as if it's too reserved or it's too expensive for me to even touch a product, So we try to focus on the decor of the store. And one thing that I really like to do with my product is name each garment. So I've kind of trained my staff in terms of, okay, if a customer walks in, ask them if they want to see kachamorich. And then, customers be like, kachamorich, I'm here to purchase garments. Where's kachamorich coming from? And then, she pulls out the garment called kachamorich because it's green and red, and, kind of explain to the customers. It's like entertaining and fun for the customer, and they have a bit of a laugh, and, it's enjoyable. I want that enjoyable moment with them. Or they can even have a product named Fatima. And they'll be like, oh my God, that's my name. I want to buy this product, So like those are the few things that, interaction having that interaction in offline store that you can't really do with online.
So it's a mini show in your offline stores.
Sorry?
It's a mini show in your offline
Yeah,
stores.
a mini show, yeah.
Looks awesome. I'll have to take a visit there.
Yes.
In terms of, let's say, growth, we have heard that your company has almost 10,000 orders after the start of the company, which is not that much. I think less than 1.5 years, right?
Yeah.
And I guess 15% of them are coming from the online store right now. So in terms of all these numbers and the growing strategies, whatever worked best for you, is this the bite-sized contents or influencer marketing or anything else?
If we are giving with influencers, yeah, it's definitely working with specific influencers. It's not that you can give out PR to anyone and it'll work and all the customers will like it. Sometimes even like I said earlier that we want our customers to be our influencers. So if they're sharing product like pictures with us and we post it, a lot of customers like look back at it and they're like, okay, we want this product because it looks great on her, and it's not very commercialized. It's very real because this customer, they could be plus size woman, they have a certain skin tone, so they feel like, okay, we can connect, maybe this will look, if it looks great on her, it'll look great on me. So we've had great response through that, and definitely working with specific influencers. And it's not that all products work with all influencers. There'll be certain influencers where you see, okay, the fusion tops look great on her. And a lot of customers just kind of go crazy. Oh, wow, this fusion top looks amazing. And it's not just the younger generation buying the fusion tops. It's everyone, all age groups are purchasing these fusion tops. So it's a bit of both customers' photos and the influence of.
All right. So in terms of D2C brands like yours that also have, I would say, a purpose, like your company has a purpose. It's not just selling products. You have a purpose of taking these brands outside of Bangladesh as well. So in terms of these sort of D2C brands, what you have seen that their community helped them a lot. Like from the very beginning, they're serving people with their uniqueness, with their better support, and these people at the end of the day built a community. And this community is just not only about the product. This community is also about a purpose, right? And your company also has a purpose. So in terms of building the community, have you already started of building the community or thought about the building the community? Any rationales there?
I mean, I feel like the community who is already following Amira on our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp business, account, I feel like that's already a community that we've already built. So when we are thinking of creating a certain product or finding a new location for an offline store, we can easily go on our story and ask, like, put a poll up and say, okay, should we go on Mirpur 1 or Mirpur 2? Which offline store should we open? And a lot of customers can directly, share their input with us. So, I just think we already have a community. If they're already following, if they're already interested in what we are putting up, I think it's doing well. It's doing pretty well. Right now on Facebook, we have around 60,000 followers since 1.5 years. And on Instagram, we have around 18,000 followers, about to be 19,000.
So in this short span, what do you think your core challenges are, and what are the challenges that you're facing recently the most?
The main challenge, if it's regarding online, I would say that a lot of customers, even though we have the website and I actually made in the very initial stage a specific photo shoot just for e-commerce. So with a plain white background and all the products just retaken just for e-commerce. And when customers like, okay, can you please share a picture of this product? And we'd share them this photo, but they said, no, we want a real photo. And I was a little confused. What do you mean by a real photo, And they said, no, I want a photo taken from the store and sent to me. And that was a little challenge, that was a little confusing for us. Like, okay, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. And another issue that I've already mentioned, that a lot of customers prefer us to process their order for them online rather than them going on the website and doing it themselves. And a challenge in our stores and offline stores would be basically having, I think, justifying our prices to our customers. And maybe there's a lack in marketing in terms of that. But a lot of customers, they come in and they kind of talk about, okay, your prices are too high. Why is this so high? There's no embroidery on this garment. It's just print. So why is this so high? So I think justifying the pricing to our customer is our main challenge right now.
All right, makes sense. What are the new things that are coming this year or maybe in a year or two?
Well, definitely, you know about the flagship store in Gulshan. That's coming up. And we're basically working on a lot of things. Basically, we're focusing on creating better products, creating, finding like proper creative fabrication. Like I said, our biggest strategy is to look into the product. So I'm looking into a lot of unique fabric that Bangladeshi market hasn't seen before in the retail industry. So actually, when I initially started, I launched with the cotton net dupatta and orna, and I digital printed on that orna. So that was very unique in the market because no one in the Bangladeshi retail industry has done that before. And so, again, I'm just working with unique fabrications that the market hasn't seen before, trying to test on, okay, what can we do with this fabric? How can we dye this fabric? How can we bring new trends into this garment? And we're looking into launching more stores, offline stores, and definitely we'll be focusing on the online store because we also want to open up worldwide shipping, as a lot of customers have reached out to us from Canada, UK, and even the States. So there's a lot going on with the company.
So lots more challenges are there coming.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Thank you, Zainab, for being in our show. I think we have learned a lot of things. Our audience has learned a lot of things as well. And best of luck for your e-commerce journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That will be all for today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. I'll drop a brand new episode each week. Also, join our Facebook group and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'll put the links in the description box. See you in the next episode of e-commerce growth.